Hey, if you want to start your own website for your handmade business to expand beyond Etsy, let me help you out and get started on the right foot so that you don't spend time and money and waste time and money getting started by doing things out of order. I know that starting up your own website can be confusing and overwhelming, so let me break down the first 4 steps that you need to follow in order to get started on your own website. What I see all the time are Etsy sellers skipping straight to step 4 and skipping over steps 1 through 3. And if you skip these crucial foundational steps, you're bound to waste time or money, but probably both. So keep watching so that you can follow everything in the right order and save yourself some time, money, and headache. If you're new here, welcome. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I am a web designer and I help Etsy sellers to create and launch their own websites for their handmade businesses. If you want to launch a website for your business, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I create videos all about how to create your own website with tips and tutorials and different information that you would need in order to start your own website. So let's break down the first 4 steps involved when it comes to building your own website. The first 4 steps are assess, prepare, plan, and choose. So step 1, assess. This is where you're going to decide if creating your own website is the best next step for your business. Is it going to help you even accomplish your goals, or are you just doing it because everyone else is doing it? You want to make sure that before you even start a website, it's going to be the right next step in your business. You're not going to enjoy the process or the outcome if you're just doing it because you think that's what you're supposed to be doing. Are you driving most of your own traffic to your Etsy shop? And do you have a list of followers on social media or a customer email list or something like that? And do you plan to advertise? These are the things you want to think about to determine if this is going to pay off for you, because a website is only worth it if you can get people to go there. So you have to have some type of strategy in place in order to be driving traffic to your website. So definitely think about that first. If you want, you can go check your Etsy stats and see how much traffic that you're driving versus how much Etsy is driving traffic through search, SEO or whatever. So if Etsy is your number 1 primary platform right now, check out my other video called Sell on Etsy or Your Own Website. And there I walk you through how to determine and use a calculator to find out if this is going to be a profitable venture to create your own website. So only after you assess and you determine that yes, this is going to pay off for you, it's going to be profitable, it's going to give you a return on your investment, only then do you want to even proceed to step 2, and which is prepare and start actually getting ready for your own website. If you determine that this is not going to be a profitable venture, or you don't have some deep reason why you want to build a website, just don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. But if Etsy is like a major source of revenue for you, if you would lose a lot if for some reason Etsy goes down or your shop gets shut down or what have you. So just really think about, do you really need a website to begin with? Because a lot of people will tell you that you need a website. And of course I want you to get one. I'm a web designer, but it's just going to end up being for naught and you're going to resent it, or you're just not going to keep up with the updates if you don't really see a good purpose and driving reason and feel that it's going to help you in your business. What we don't want is for you to build a website and then it turns out that your website is just adding more stuff to do on your plate, but it's not giving you any return, and then you end up just either abandoning it or resenting it. So that's not what we want. So once you know that a website's the right next step after you assess, then we're going to move on to step 2, which is prepare. There are several things that you're going to want to prepare ahead of time when it comes to building out your own website. These are almost what you would consider prerequisites. So you want to have your logo and your branding done. Your logo and branding not only are just the logo, but make sure you have a couple of fonts, like 1 or 2 fonts that you use consistently. You have a color palette that you use consistently, and that this will help inform the design decisions for your website, so you're not all over the place, and so everything has a really cohesive look and good branding. You're also going to need photos for your website. You probably want to have at least one, maybe a couple headshots of yourself. You are the artist, and people care about you, and they want to see who's making their things, so you want to have some headshots. And then you need different photos of your products. You're going to need some lifestyle photos, so if you do jewelry, maybe you have jewelry on a person and they're in their natural environment where they're laughing, and the person can really get a feel for the type of vibe that you're going for with your products. Or maybe it's soap and it's posed on a really nice looking sink with some flowers in the background, or whatever you make, you want some photos of it in its natural habitat. And then you also want those clean product listing photos. That's where you just got your product sitting on a clean, plain background, to have nothing distracting from the product, so that people can really focus on all the little details of your product. So you got your branding, your logo, your photos, and then you actually need to have products. You need to know what you're going to sell. You got to have your photos, descriptions, pricing. Maybe you want weights and measurements, all the details, the materials, ingredients, or whatever. So you need to make sure that you have all these listings. Now, if you've already got an Etsy shop, you already have this because you have your Etsy listings in your Etsy shop. But if if this is your first foray into putting your business online, you might need to type these out and prepare this kind of thing. If you're just used to selling at a market, the products can speak for themselves and you're there to explain. But when it's online, you need to really have everything detailed out so that people can read, because that's going to be what helps them decide whether or not your product is right for them. Now, step 3. This is the planning stage. This is where you're going to plan out all of the content for your website, the features, and everything that you are going to have in your website so that it can help you meet your goals. Again, all of this can be done before you ever sign up for a web hosting platform or start paying for anything. So, number 1, you're going to plan out the pages. What pages are you going to have on your website? You're going to have a home page. That's the main page that comes up when someone goes to your domain name, your URL. And then you're probably going to want to have an about page, a contact page, maybe you want a photo gallery page. You're going to have the shop section if you want to have people actually purchase and check out on your website. You might want to have a customer service and returns information page. I highly suggest that. You're going to need a privacy policy. I think I said contact page, but if not, you need that too. So go ahead and write out and list out all of the pages that you're going to have on your website, and that will help you start to get your brain turning on what types of information you need to put together. You also can think about planning out your navigation menu. So usually at the top of a website, you've got the logo, and then you've got a menu of options. Here you can start planning out, what do you want that menu to look like? What options are people going to have to choose from? And if you sell items in like slightly different categories, I suggest having your product categories as a main portion of this. But you also might want to have the contact and the about page right there on that top navigation. Not every page needs to be included, but you do want, the main pages that you're going to want people to be browsing, you got to have that on your navigation. So plan out your pages and your navigation, and then you can go ahead and start planning out your content. What content is going to be on each page? And when I say content, I'm talking about all of the images, graphics, text, all of the text that's going to be on your pages. You can even start writing your content for each page. And then you also want to brainstorm the features. These are the things that you want your website to do or to have, or how people might want to interact, or what kind of integrations you're going to need. So think about your current fulfillment process. What shipping partners do you use? What payment gateways do you use? Anything like this. If you have a special print on demand, like drop shipping partner, can you pick look for features that are going to integrate with that. So think about the integrations that you're going to need, maybe an email list, maybe you want to have like an Instagram feed on your website. Think about these features and then also put it through the filter. Is this feature just a pretty bell and whistle, or is this going to help me sell more of my products? Is this going to help me accomplish whatever goals that I've set for my website? So you want to make sure you do that too, because if you just have a bunch of bells and whistles, that could actually be distracting people away from achieving the goal. So I'm going to assume if you're setting up an e-commerce site that your goal is to sell more products or increase the average order value. So think about when you put a bell and whistle on your website, is this actually helping you to achieve these goals, or is this just something for good looks? So just, keep that in mind. You don't want too many bells and whistles because you can actually distract people away from the cart and then they're not checking out, which is really bottom line what you want people to do. And now we get to step 4. This is where everybody tries to jump first. Step 4 is to choose. Choose which website platform that you're going to use to build your website. Are you going to use Squarespace or Wix or WordPress or BigCommerce or did I say Shopify? There's so many different website builders and it can be very overwhelming at first. If this is the first step that you take, if you just say, hey, I want to build a website, which platform did you use? And then there's so many options and you get overwhelmed with the decision-making process. That's why I put this step 4 instead of step 1 or 2 or even 3. So just so you know, there is no best one-size-fits-all website platform that I recommend to everyone. There are definitely a few that stand out above the rest that have more advantages for most sellers, but you have to do your own research. It may also come down to what kind of features you need in terms of support or backups or a staging environment and speed and how much traffic you anticipate. So you want to look at all these different factors when it comes to choosing which website platform you're going to build your site with. Choosing your website platform is kind of a multi-step process in and of itself, and I don't have time to go into that right now in this video, but I did create another video called Best Website Builder for Handmade Sellers. So if you're at step 4, you're ready to do that, go check out that video so you can see more how to do that. So those are the first 4 steps to creating your website. Now you know you need to assess, prepare, and plan before you choose your website platform. The rest of the process involves designing your style tiles, which represent the general look and feel of your website. You can create a style tile or mood board using a free tool like Canva. After the style tile is done, I like to sketch wireframes, which are basically like blueprints for each page. I use a paper and pencil for this step. You don't have to make it complicated, but you're going to lay out what sections are going to go on each page and where buttons are going in pictures, and you can even pick out which pictures are going where. When the wireframes are done, it's time to collect the content and write your content. You're going to want to write the text and create the graphics, gather and edit any photos, all of that for each page. Then you sign up for hosting. This is where you actually start paying for a website platform, and then you're ready to build it out, and then it's launch and celebrate. So that's kind of the overall process that I take with my clients and with my students, and so I hope that that helps you see the big picture as well as, what you need to focus on at first. And the best part about it is that most of this can be done before you ever even pay a penny towards website hosting. There's so much that you can do first before you start paying for your website hosting, so that way you don't pay for a coming soon page for months while you're getting everything gathered together. You can, once you start paying, you're ready to build. Just build it out and launch it. So if you have completed step 1 and you know for sure a website is the right next step for your business, then I would love to help you get started. If you're ready for steps 2, 3, and 4, preparing and planning and choosing your website platform, then I want you to join me for a 3-day website jumpstart bootcamp that I'm hosting next week. I'll teach you everything that you need to know and leave you with specific action steps so that you can get started and have some quick wins on getting your website started right away. Read all the details in the description of this video, and I can't wait to see you inside the bootcamp. If you don't feel ready and you're still unsure about if a website's the next step, then please go back and watch my video about selling on Etsy versus your own website and check out that free calculator so that you can figure it out if it is the right step for you. Or feel free to reach out to me. There's a contact form on my website at bexmarie.com. If this was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so that you can keep seeing my videos in your feed. Your support by giving me a thumbs up or sharing, leaving comments, and subscribing really helps my channel, and it helps me continue making more free videos like this for you.